And hello, everyone. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing okay? Um, I don't have anything exciting to share, so I'm ready for Sudoku if you're ready for Sudoku,
Yep.
unless you have something fun to share. Alright,
Nope.
last week we got stuck on this puzzle. City of Skyscrapers by Kitty Trouble. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in killer cages cannot repeat. Each killer cage represents a skyscraper with a height equal to its sum. Digits outside cages do not have any skyscrapers. Clues outside the grid indicate how many skyscrapers it can see from that direction. For example, if there are 5 killer cages in a row or column, and their sums are 4, 10, 10, 13, and 5, leading away from a skyscraper clue, the skyscraper's clue value would be 3, because it would see the 4, the first 10, the 13, and that's it. It wouldn't see the second 10 or the 5. Alright. Let's just delete all of this stuff. Okay, so last time we had sort of seen a route through the skyscrapers. Which is probably still the same thing we need to do. But maybe there's a better path than the one that we had found. But I think it's probably still useful to identify that path that we found before in case it's still the relevant one. So, if we look at this column, we see this one here has to be bigger than this one because of the one. Because this one would see this one if this one was smaller. So we know blue is smaller than red. Now, blue, we know, is going to be larger than green over here because of the 3. The green sees, or excuse me, the 3 sees green, blue, and then this one all the way over here. Follow this around, there's a 2 up here. So that's going to be, mark that in purple. This purple must be seen by this 3 over here. So we get orange and yellow. What's the relationship between yellow and red? Well, red is bigger than blue, is bigger than green, is bigger than purple, is bigger than orange, is bigger than yellow. So red is bigger than yellow. So what does that mean for this column? Well, if this 3 down here can see red, but it can't see yellow, then it can see as the last one, either this one, or this one. Now let's say this was the largest one that it could see. Well, how could the 3 at the top see anything large or smaller than this? It just simply wouldn't. So that one can't be the biggest. What if this was the biggest? Well, again, the same problem for this 3. It would only see 2. So now let's make this one the largest sum in this column. Well, this would be 1, 2 for the 3 at the bottom, and then this one would have to be forced to be the third one. Because it's the only other one that this 3 at the bottom could see. And then that allows us to have the 3 here. So let's mark this in black, and then this one here in gray. So we know black is larger than gray, is larger than green, is larger than blue, is larger than green. I'm pretty sure I'm saying the wrong colors, but whatever. Green is larger than purple, is larger than orange, is larger than yellow, which is larger than this one over here. Make that silver for a moment. So if we mark these with letters instead, then this would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Now, I see column 8 is interesting. Row 7 is interesting. Row 4 obviously ends with C. This one is smaller than that one. This sees all three of those. All right. I don't think there is any other relationship that we can identify where A has to be smaller than anything, because there's no identifiers in the row, and we've already used both identifiers in the column to mark that A had to be the largest of the ones that we've identified so far. Oh, I guess I should also put a link to the puzzle in the chat. Paste, please. Thank you. So from here, we're going to have to identify other relationships. Okay.
Something I noticed,
Uh-huh.
column 3, got the two above it. That two-cell domino is a minimum of 3.
Right.
Or, yeah. So at the bottom of column 3, that one cell is going to be minimum 4.
Yeah.
And it's a maximum 9.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't think is very restrictive.
Well, actually, the it's going to have to be more than the two cell at the top actually has to be higher than 3, because if that's summed to 3, that's 1 and 2.
Yeah, but this one can see these two and say that one.
Well, this is true.
Yeah. Although, what's the relationship going on across this way? Right? If I also indicate that this one is Z, as Z being the largest, then this one would be Y, and then X. Although we know that this one is larger than Y.
Why is that larger than Y?
This one has to be larger than this one because of the 3 in row 2.
Oh, right.
So, here, I want to mark these in colors. Okay, so if the 3 in row 1 can see green, it can also see red and black. So this 3 cannot see green, and so its sum is irrelevant for this row.
Right.
Except it just has to be smaller than either of these two. Or, well, the largest of these two. Now, if this 3 sees both of these, then it only sees black. Which means that the second one is larger than red. However, that's not a requirement. I can make this larger than green and see red and black and be just fine. And there's no relationship between green and purple. Now, this one, mark it in orange. Orange has to be greater than D because of the 3 here in row 8. And the 4 sees all 3 of these. So this has to be at least 3 steps smaller than C. But we aren't guaranteed that these are adjacent. So this could still, even though it's at least 3 smaller than C. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Can still be larger than orange. Although, let's say this was 10, 9, 8, 7. Well, if this was 10, you could make this 6, but then this would have to be 5.
Can't do that.
So the only way that this would be larger than this, and because this is maximum 7. 2 through 8. 3 through 9. It's not really relevant. It's too many digits, but the only way that this could be larger than orange is if this was a 7 and orange was 6, which D is at least 6. And the only way that this 3 wouldn't be able to see orange, or it's just not going to work. This cannot be 6 because this has to be at least 6. So orange must be larger than this corner. So we see these two. And since orange is larger than D, it must also be larger than I. So then it's whether or not purple or this corner is larger than orange. Now, this is minimum 6, this is minimum 7, this is minimum 8. I could put a 9 in this corner, except 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine minimum. So if this one's minimum 9, then I can't see this one. So purple is larger than orange. If purple's larger than orange, red is larger than purple, but still smaller than A. And then black is larger than red. I'll take green out for a second. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Orange is larger than E. So black has to be smaller than this one, yellow, and blue. So I actually get a longer chain going around this way. So let's call this Z, Y, X. Blue is larger than yellow, is larger than black, is larger than red, is larger than purple, is larger than orange. G, H, I, J, K, L. And then Z is larger than Y, is larger than X, is larger than G. Three. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, maybe I should think about this in reverse, because now this is 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. No, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, and A is super big. But we know that A is larger than both G and F. So this one is actually the largest. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So A is greater than B, so 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Well, I mean, that basically just takes the 5 off and the 6. So now this is maximum 5, and this one's max 6. And we've dealt with the 2, we've dealt with this 3. And now we get these 3 again. Because this one has to be smaller than this one. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and O. And 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And it can't be a 2, 3 pair. Except now I ruined the ones, so I messed something else up. So is this chain correct? We know this has to be larger than this, which has to be larger than this, which must be larger than this one, which must be larger than this one, which must be larger than this one and this one. Here, here, goes down to here, down, 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 down. Yes. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I said something wrong. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. What did I do wrong, Mama?
I don't know. Start with adding, put in the numbers again. Well, no.
17.
Starting with O.
16.
You know it's 3, so it's 1, 2.
3, 4, 5. No, 5 is over here. 6, 7, 8. Now this has to have a 1, this has to have a 1, so this is a 1. But then that can't be a 2, 3 pair.
Right. So something was...
We prove that A is larger than B, is larger than C, must be larger than D, which must be larger than E, which must be larger than F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Why? I missed K somehow. I have 2 Ks.
That's the problem. That the K that's in between boxes 5 and 6.
I need to go back to where this was X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, because that's where I messed things up. Okay. Alright. Because X is larger than A. But yeah, J, K, L, M is the order there.
Right.
Now, X must be larger than A, except it doesn't have to be. It can be equal to.
Yeah.
And I think if I say that A and X are equal, then I think things turn out correct. But let's go about this more carefully. And just have it still be sequential. If I make this A, B, C, D, I add 3 letters in the alphabet. So M plus 3, L, M, N, O, P. So M becomes P, L, M, N K would become M. H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Wait. This should be O. This should be N. Because M, N, O, P. Gosh darn it. I'm so bad at the alphabet. Which doesn't make any sense because of the alphabet game we played as kids. M, N, O. P, because I need to add 3. L, M, N, O. L, M, N, O. K, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. K becomes N.
J becomes M. I becomes
N.
L. L
No. Thank you. H
becomes
should be
K.
K.
G
G, J,
becomes J. F becomes I.
I, J, K. E
Becomes
becomes
H.
H. D becomes G. C
F
becomes F. E, E, A, D. X, C, Y, B, Z, A. Oh, that was so hard. At least for me. You seem to struggle a lot less. Okay. Now, A must be strictly greater than B, strictly greater than C, which can be greater than or equal to D. But let's say they're all strictly graders, right? Because D must be strictly greater than E, strictly greater than F, strictly greater than G, strictly greater than H, strictly greater than I, strictly greater than J, strictly greater than K, strictly greater than L, strictly greater than M, strictly greater than N, strictly greater than O, strictly greater than P. So 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. But we know that that's not the case. So this must be 3, this must be 4, this one is 5, which has to be a 2 and a 3. This one is 6, not a 3 obviously. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 again, 16, and 18.
17.
That's what I meant. 17. Thank you. 17, 16, 15, 15, 14, 14.
And now M cannot be 2 and 4 to sum to 6
Right.
because then that makes and that breaks the ones again.
Except this is a 9, so it could be 2, 3, 4.
Oh, right.
These sum to 7s. This is to 5. This is 10. But it doesn't have 2, so it can't have 8. Because we have 2's pairing here and here. Although we still have too much information going on there.
Well, if we look at row 8, it that's row 7.
Oops.
Below it's row 8.
2,
It
3, 4.
or 5. Yeah.
So this was 1615. And it can't have 1, can't have 2, it can't have 5. So it's 3, 4, and 8. Or that's not a 3. 7, 9, and 6, I think. Which 6, 7, 9 triple is going to give us 8 and 9, 7 and 9. 6, 7 is going to make that 9 and 6, 8 and 6, a 4, a 7, a 6, and no 4s. Color.
What was F again?
14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Yeah, 13. Although this is minimum for 6, so this is maximum 3. Could be 4, 7.
Okay, well, it can't have 1 in it. Well, you know what can be in it, so.
Right. 14, 13. And 1's not allowed. 8 is not allowed.
5 is not. Well, right, because it has to have a 2 or a 3 in it.
Right.
So,
And so now 5 is removed. So 4 is a requirement, 6 or 7 with 2 or 3. This one, 13, 12. This one is 11. This one is 10.
well,
And it can't
okay,
have
never mind, it's already out.
8 is not allowed. 1 is not allowed, so 2's a requirement. Can't have 2's there, so that's 2. And 3, 6, or 4, 5.
Okay, look in box 5, or well, column 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
This is a 5. 1, 4,
1, 4, and
7.
7. Row 5 needs the high digits.
9. 8, 9. 8 be over there.
Row 8 needs the high digit. Or roll a 7, 8, 9.
1, 2, 3, which is there. 5 and 8. 5, 7, 8, 9. And not 8, 7, 9. 4, 8, 3, and 2. And this isn't 9. That's not 9. Not 1. Not 1, not 5.
Can't be
Because the
6 either.
4.
Because The 2 cell at the top of the column has to be smaller.
Yeah, it's minimum 6. So
Right.
7, 8, 9. So make that 5. 6 and a 1. An 8, not an 8. Not a 6, 2 and 1. 1 and 9. 6 and 4. 9 and 1. 4 and 2.
If the bottom of column 3 is a 7, then that, yeah.
4, 6, 7, and
9.
4, 6, 7, 9, and 2.
3, 4, 5.
It's going to take the 4 out. 6, 7, 8, 9. The low digit here has to combine with the low digit here. Seven is less than 8, is less than 9. 14 is less than 15, is greater than anything else in the row. 15 is equal to 15 and greater than the rest in the column. 15, 16, 17. 1, 9, and 10. 1, 6, 7, or 9 is smaller than 15. That row's by default complete. Well, I guess not by default, but 4, 5, 6 is good. And 3, 4, whatever that is good. 10, 11, 12 is good. Oh, this is 11 and this is 12. They both have to be greater than whatever these two are.
Right.
So this one must be smaller than the one to its left. So now where can 6 go in this box? It's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. Those aren't 6. So 6 is one of those two. And now I get a 7, 8, 9 triple, which is going to take the 7 out of this. And I get 3, 5, 6 triple. Three, 6 pair. 1, 4, 7. So that's actually going to leave me with 3, 6, 1, 4, 7, and 2. These two aren't 8, so that is 6, 7, 9. That's not 9. 5, 6, and 7. It's going to take the 7 out. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 4 pair makes that 2 or 3. 5, 9 takes 9 out. 6, 7 pair places 9, places 7, places 4, places 6. And this needs to be paired with a 3. These places 2. 7 makes that a 9, an 8, 7, 6. This is 9, so it doesn't matter what that is. 5, 7, 9, 5 and 9. 1 and 2, which is complete, gives me this. 4, 1, 3, 6, 7, 4, 7, 6, 5, 7, 8, 9, 9, 8, 3, 5, 4, and we're done! Yay! That is such a hard puzzle. And then Brian says, finally, some progress. Yes. This was a very tough puzzle, I think, to navigate through.
But still much better than the
better than the...
yesterday's. Although
Yeah.
yesterday was like 21 minutes or something before we quit.
Yeah. Row 1. Row 9. Can I justify saying the difficulty is anything less than very hard?
Not really, unless you want to.
I don't think I can. Like, obviously there are harder puzzles, but still, without... I don't know. I'm gonna mark this very hard. It's definitely one of the puzzles that's gonna be... I mean, once you figure out the path through the city, then, like, you're good. But figuring out that path, is not straightforward, I don't think. So, I don't know. Very hard it is. Alright. I already have that listed in my notes. So, place to place and enter. Alright, let's go find another puzzle. I guess one thing I want to take a look at is if Elytron has another puzzle posted. Does not look like it. Seems like we have solved all of their puzzles. So, back over here, let that play. Remove the bookmark, and grab the next puzzle. Alright, next puzzle is going to be Snow Flurry by Lurkane. Hopefully Lurkane. It might be pronounced otherwise, but... normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and all possible dots are given. And the puzzle does not have solution checking. All possible consecutive pairs are shown. Well, I know what these three have to be. They have to be 2, 5, and 8.
Right.
Because I have 3 stripes of consecutive, or 3 runs, and 1 through 9 only has one possible way of marking 3 runs. So, Okay, well, how does this impact these two 4 sets? 1, 2 doesn't work. 2, 3, 4, 5 could work. 3, 4, 5 doesn't. 4, 5, 6 doesn't. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know that 2 works. We know that 5 works. I'm assuming that 8 is going to work. Because well, no, you can't make 8 as the smallest. But yeah, 6, 7, 8, and 6 is the last possible value for the run. Because you can't do 7, 8, 9, and 10, so that's not allowed. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 2, 5, and 8. It's just 5 is guaranteed as either the largest or smallest digit there. And then this is either 3, 4, or 6, 7. And, well, I guess the same thing has to be true over here, 2, 5, or 8. Where this one can't be 5, so that one is 3, 4, 6, 7. And what's left over? 1 and 9? So 2 or 8?
Well, since you have a 5 in box 3, it
All right.
can't go to 3 or 7.
This can still be 2 or 8, as long as this is the opposite one.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's imagine that this was the highest from this group. If this one was the lowest, it would not be consecutive. So then this would be the next highest. So then this couldn't be the next lowest. And then the highest. So if this was 1, 3, you couldn't do 4. That would have to be 4, 6. Trying to think about how these work. Because if I do 1 and 3, then it would have to be 4 and 6. 7 and 9. But that's only if this was 1 and 3 and this was the 4, 6.
Right.
Because if I swap the 4, 6 with the 7, 9, then the order doesn't matter at all.
Right.
So I don't know if this matters at all yet. And if this is 5, then both of those can just simply pair with the not version of the 1, 9. So I don't know if I expressed that very clearly, but like if this was 2, then this could be 9, and this would be 1 and that 8, and a 5 there. And then we get 1, 4, 7, and 3, 6, 9. if we have 5 in the middle. Yeah. The only one that really matters in here is the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well...
Well, in box 8, would the center digit have to be 1 or 9?
No.
No.
Yeah. It's, I think it has to be an
Yeah,
odd
it
digit,
just has to. Yeah.
because each of these has to
Right. Yeah,
include an even.
and it doesn't have to be the end. Yeah, it just has
Yeah.
to be odd.
Because I could do 1, 2, and 3 in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, box 5 has the same sort of situation going on. Although, if we know that this is odd, although I guess it doesn't necessarily mean anything for the parity of the digits that are next to it, because this only has 2 neighbors that are even. So it just means that those 2 neighbors have to be odd. But I could still have 2 evens next to that aren't adjacent to whatever this is. And I can have 3 evens if this is 1 or 9, because they only have 1 even neighbor.
Right.
Hmm. Well, regardless of what these 2, their neighbors already exist. So whatever these 2 are, or at least this one, it's not going to impact this at all. And then this one, well, it can't impact this, but it could be a neighbor of that. So this just can't be the 3 or the 7 that would be adjacent to this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just realized that this is 2 or 8, which pairs with that.
Right.
So, well, I guess that's just 1, 9, and 3, 4, 6, 7 left over. Which, if this was 1 or 9, then that would be 5. Because this 1, 9 is consecutive with that one. So if this was 1 or 9, it would be the other version. And so this would also be the other version of, well, not the other version of 2, 8, which would have to be that one. But if I put 1 or 9 down here, it doesn't impact anything. Okay.
In columns 4 and 6, whatever the 258 is, if it's even. Okay, it's in column 4. If that 258 is even, then the bottom of the column is also even. But if it's odd, it's odd.
So
So
you're
those two are the
saying
same
these two are the
parity.
same?
Yeah, and the same with in column 6, the 258 and the one that's not, it's the top corner of box. Uh
Well, see,
oh,
those
there's
two
two
aren't
of them.
consecutive.
Right. And I was if the 258 is odd, then both of those last two are odd.
Yeah. But if this is
Then
even,
odd, odd. Yeah, then it's an even odd pair. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, it's because of that one had to be odd in column 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and column 2 is worse, because we don't have the lining up dots.
Right.
So what is missing? We've got 3 dots here and 3 dots there. I can't think of a reason those would be helpful. And I haven't seen a lot of use for the 1 or the 5 that we've managed to place.
Well, the one was already there.
Yeah. Now, I just realized that if this was 1, 9, then this would be the 3, 4, 6, 7, which would be the opposite pair from these.
Right.
So we can't put 3, 4, 6, 7 in this square, because those two would be adjacent, and those two would be adjacent. So this is 3, 4, 6, or 7, which is the opposite of helpful, because this is just 1, 9, 3, 4, 6, 7. Well, it's not the opposite of helpful, but it's minimally helpful. Now, whatever this is, it is not the end over here. So if this was 2, then we'd have 3 and 4 and 5. The other one of 9, the other 1, 9, is going to be adjacent to this digit, so it's not relevant where it is. But this 2, 8, if that's a 2, this is 3, 4, and 6, 7, this is an 8, so then this couldn't be a 7 or 3. So this would be 9, 4, 6. And then this is 1, 9, 3, 4, 6, 7. Because if this is in any order, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, then I'd have already used 3 and 4, and an 8 can't be next to 7, so this would end up being a 6. But if I did 8, 7, 6, 5, we'd have 1 and 2, 6 and 7 would be gone, and a 2 can't be next to 3. And then that would be 4 or 9. And that would be 1. So that seems correct to me. I mean, the other 4 and 6 just can't go there, so that's not helpful. So then what?
In box 2, 1 and 9 cannot be on the same side. Because in box 1, one of the 1, 9 is on the bottom.
Right. Although, could they not be up here?
Well, no, then... Oh, yeah, because I guess you could put the other 1, 9 for row 3 in box 3.
Make this 7 and 3. Those would be 4 and 6.
Yeah, that would...
Yeah. Darn it. this digit is one of those two. Because it's not one of those two. Doesn't feel useful. This one, well, it has to be that one. So this is not the one, okay. If I mark this in purple and this one in green, then this green is neighbors with this green. But then this one is not one of those two. So it has to be this one. It's green. So the other 1, 9 has to be one of those two. And then we have the purple 1, 9 over there. Because it can't be up here.
Right.
So now we do have the green and purple 1, 9 across the top. So 1 and 9 is going to be opposite 3 and 7.
Which takes 3 and 7 out of the first cell of column or row 3.
Right. I'm going to turn this orange.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn this gray. Now, whatever digit.
Although, the one thing about the 1, 9 and that 2, 8 being green and orange.
Is
Green
odd
is
even.
even.
Yeah.
Orange is odd.
There, fixed it. So we already know where the two digits that are adjacent to this are. This one and one of those two. So what about the digit that's adjacent to this? The other 2 or 8. Well, it has to be one of those two. Oh. Well, it can't be that one. Because the 2 or 8 that's adjacent to purple has to be one of those two. So this is 1, 9, 2, 8. Three, 4, 6, 7. And orange is the 1, 9, so this can't be 2, 8. So this isn't 1, 9. Because orange and green are consecutive. And then this 2, 8 must be consecutive with purple 1, 9, and it can't be across the top because of the 2, 5, 8 up here. So it had to be across the bottom. And since those two can't be adjacent, it has to be here. Okay. I'm gonna make this yellow. Now we just need to know where the 5 is. And we need to learn where 4 and 6 is. Okay. Then what? One and 9 are obviously out for a middle digit, and 2 and 8 are removed for these two. But I guess that makes this maximum, or going between 2 and 8, and then this is still just 3 through 7. So that doesn't feel that helpful. Take that off for the moment. Okay, let's say the middle one is 1 and 3. Well, then 4 has to be on top with the 1, 9. But I can still put a 4 down here, as long as I put the 4 over here and the 3 over there. Then you can put 7 in between and it doesn't matter. Yeah. 3, 4, 6, 7. 3, 4, 1, 9. No, not 3. 6. 4, 6, and 1, 9.
Right, where can 1 go in box 9?
Box 9? Well, it's not there. Oh, well, it can still be over here.
Well, it
This
can't
can't
be
be
along.
1, because it would be a 2. These
Right,
2
that
are
can't be
ruled out.
1.
This
And that
can't be
can't
1,
be
because
1.
2.
Right. And 9 is kind of similar. Not quite as. It can't
9 can't
be.
pair with 8, and 9 can't pair with 8. Well, no, because you can have 1 and 9 like that. Although, this has to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where 4 and 6 are on these. And so this has to be a 1, 9 pair, actually. And 2 or 8. Because you end up with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right.
Quintuplet. And now this one cannot be adjacent to yellow. So orange and green are adjacent. So this one's orange. So this one is purple. And purple's adjacent to yellow.
Okay, now purple in box 6 not be adjacent to yellow.
Right. Okay. Orange has to be one of those two. So green is adjacent to orange. Where is green in this box? Well, it can't be next to orange. It's not yellow or purple, and it's not one of those two. And we know.
Right.
Oh,
Since
but
it
it
has
could.
to be, if it's on the crop gate, it has to be adjacent to orange, and since it can't
Well,
be, it can't be on
not.
the crop.
It could be adjacent to the 3 or 7 that it's
Oh, right.
adjacent to. So we know green is one of those. And we also know that the 3 or 7 that green is adjacent to isn't down here.
Right.
So it could be those two. Because it's also not one of those two. Oh. Probably put the puzzle in the chat. You'd think I would think about these things, but then I very clearly didn't think about it. Oh. Okay. Okay, well, I guess yellow is just one of these. So that's not that helpful. Green has to be one of these two. I hit it on the did. Why didn't the link show up in my phone? I forgot to like my
Showed up
own
on
stream.
mine.
Oh, it did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it showed up on my phone now. Yeah. Nerf. Alright. Well, no purple and orange are up
Oh,
there. Oh,
I guess it's not really an O. I think we already knew. The the in box 3, the 3, 7 in the center,
yeah.
in box 1,
Oh,
it's that one.
and this 3-7 is adjacent to green, not yellow. And 3
Right.
and 7 can't be adjacent to 5, so that's not an issue. Doesn't change anything here.
But let's call it blue. So, and we know that green now. Yeah, no, never mind. No, one it has to be one of the two on the right of
Yeah.
one of those two. Yeah. You're not gonna get 5 a color? I was only kidding.
Alright. Well, red and blue are adjacent. Red's gonna have to be down here. And then this would be gray and silver. Gray and silver. Gray and silver. Red. Well, red can't be next to blue. Well, okay. Well, that can't be 4 or 6 then. It has to be 1 or 9.
Okay, then 5 can't go below it.
Right. Which means it's yellow. Yellow's adjacent to purple. So then, let's make yellow be next to silver. It's not 4 or 6. Well, 1 and 9 means that's not 1 or 9. This would be, well, either blue or black. Okay, what can these be? Well, they're not blue, so silver, gray and red, and black. Although, I don't know if that's helpful. Yeah. Too many colors and not enough, like they're not
Right.
next to orange or purple, so it doesn't help. Probably should have made the chains more obvious.
Huh?
The chain colors, I probably wish I had made them red, blue, yellow, green,
Oh,
and purple, orange, gray, silver. Oh well. Well, silver can't be next to gray, so this has to be blue, and this can't be blue. Blue is 3 or 7, so this is 4 or 6. 3 or 7 is not next to 5, so this isn't black, and then this one isn't green. This has to be not orange.
and 5 is now. All right. So now we have in column 6 4 evens.
1, 2, 3, 4. These two are 1, 3, 7, or 9. Two, four, six, eight.
And column 5 has 4 evens.
1, 3, 5, 7, 9, not 1. And 2, 4, 6, 8. Because these two are even.
Right.
Hmm. Well, yellow is one of those three. Yellow is next to silver. So this one can't be silver. That's it. Wait. No. Purple is next to yellow, so that doesn't impact those. Yellow is next to silver. So where is silver in this group? Well, it's not there or there, so that's not helpful. Well, this has to have 2 or 8, which is 1, 3, or 7, 9. Which isn't that helpful. Because it's the same thing there, but 3, 5, or 4, 5, 6 is ruled off with this column. Kind of hope purple is 9, because that'll help with these. But it's probably not, because it'll be less helpful. If this was green and blue, well, actually, I don't know.
If purple is 9, blue is 3.
Yeah. Okay, well, what kind of odd digits is this? Odd digits are orange, purple, black, blue, and silver. Orange and blue aren't allowed here. And that's fine. Odd digits are blue, silver, orange, and purple. That's not helpful. This one's not purple. Even digits are yellow, green, red,
Oh,
and gray.
where does yellow go in box 8?
Not here. Not one of those two. That's odd, that's odd. Yellow pairs with either purple or silver.
And yellow comes out on row 7 in box. Yeah.
Well, that has to be...
Red or gray.
yeah, can't be 2 or 8. Which means 1 and 9 is out, so orange is gone.
Okay, so then yellow in box 5. Yellow is consecutive with purple or silver if it's on the crop key.
Yeah.
Okay, and it doesn't matter, so never mind. All right, so green in box 8.
Not along the middle. That isn't allowed. And we know that yellow's on here, and yellow and
Right.
green aren't consecutive. So green has to be one of those 3, which means that green is one of these 2, pairing with orange or blue.
Which, okay, never mind.
Now, if this was green, we would have to pair with orange or blue, neither of which can go
Right.
here. So this isn't green. So this is orange or blue.
Orange or blue.
So then we know where green is,
Oh,
we know where yellow
okay.
is.
If in box 8, if that 3-7 is blue,
If this one's blue.
if that one's blue, where no, because that's blue over there. Okay, never mind.
Yellow and green. So 2 and 8 are out. Which means that 5 and 7? No. 9
9's
is
out.
out. 5 is still a possibility. But we've got our 4-6 pair. So this can't be gray. Yeah.
All right, in box 8, orange and that's an orange green pair. Because I don't see orange or green in the rest of the box now. Because orange and green are in column 5, and it can't
Right.
be blue.
So let's see, because we know green and we know yellow. So where can orange go? It's not here. This we knew it had to be even. And this one sees 2 and 8, so it can't be consecutive with 1 or 9, so it can't be orange. This one is yellow, And yellow is not consecutive with orange.
Or green. Green is
So this has to
orange
be...
or blue.
Yeah.
But where
So
else
this
do you put
is...
orange?
So that's green, orange. So then where can purple go? It's not here. It's not even. This sees both yellow and green, so it can't be consecutive with 1 or 9. This sees both yellow and green, so it can't be consecutive with 1 or 9. But I can still put 1 or 9 in the middle, and yellow here, consecutive with gray, or silver rather. Now, green is consecutive with blue.
But if
But
that's
this one
green
has
and
to be blue.
blue, right? And if
Oops.
that was green and blue, then how can that be?
Blue is consecutive
Okay.
with red. Red is... gray can be consecutive with silver. Okay. None of this is blue now. So this has to be...
Green and orange.
So orange is out. Oh, if this was purple,
That's
it
purple
can't be
or
1 or 9.
silver.
It has two adjacents. So it can't be purple.
Right.
It must be silver. Silver's out. Purple's out. And we get 3, 5, 7 like that.
There's a red in column 5.
Right.
And that leaves
Gray or silver can be consecutive with...
I was looking at column 5. There's only 2 spots that are...
Right. Green, or excuse me, orange, green, blue, red, black, and silver.
One of those is purple. Okay.
Okay, well, purple is only consecutive with yellow.
With yellow.
And yellow is 2 or 8, gray is 4 or 6. Blue, black, and red.
Yeah.
Red is not consecutive. No, red is consecutive with blue and black, so that's all fine. Gray is consecutive with silver and black. So this isn't black. Or 9 to 8. Oh, this one isn't orange because orange is there. Silver is next to yellow and gray. So this has to be yellow.
Right.
Well, yellow is consecutive with purple, which is over there, so that's fine.
Okay, in box 9, under the green, under the Kropke dot, green is consecutive with blue or orange. Orange is over there, and blue is, so the middle one can't be green. The bottom of the Kropke can't be green. The top could still
Because,
be green.
well, actually it can't, because they're consecutive, and this is blue here. And
Oh,
you
right.
can't put blue and green consecutive there without a dot.
Okay, so the bottom can't be green either, because it connects to either blue or orange.
Right. And it sees orange and blue.
Right,
So then this must be green.
right.
And if this has 4
Oh,
or 6 on it,
well,
3, 4,
neither of
5,
those
6,
can
7.
be. If we look to see where blue can go in box 9, it can't be either of those that you just highlighted, because
Can't be
blue is
next to
next to,
green. And it can't be green.
and it's,
So that's a blue-orange pair.
yeah. So
And
now
they can be
blue
next to
in
each
box
other.
6 is one of those two, and it can be
It just
next
can't.
to,
It just can't
it
be
can't
next
be
to
next
green.
to green.
7. Well, blue has to be next to green or red, but it can't be next to green. So this is red. And then red has to be next to black. That's a 5. So then this is the other of 4 and 6, which is gray. And gray is consecutive with
Black
and blue.
or blue, yeah.
Wait, no,
But it
gray
can't be
can't be
blue.
next to blue. It has to be next to silver. And we already knew that blue was one of those two.
Right.
1937, or that's not a 1. So then these two, it's red and black. And then this is gray or silver. But gray
It's fine.
mm-hmm.
So then in box 6, the final column, green, purple, and
Yellow?
gray or silver. No, yellow's in the box.
Gray is next to black, which it can't be.
Yeah.
And gray is also next to silver. Okay. Green is next to... Oh, black can't be next to gray.
Oh, row 9 has a gray in it.
Gray, silver, silver. Oh, red, red, red.
All right, so silver is 3 and 7. Gray is 4 and 6.
6 pair. Oh, red and blue. So apparently this is black.
All right, red in row.
Green and silver? Oh, well, this is silver. So then this must be green. So then this is purple. Okay. Black, orange, blue, and red.
And the center one is next to either orange or blue, which has to be
Yeah,
green. Well, no, it could be green or whatever's on the other side of blue.
red. Oh, yeah, because if it was orange, it would have to be green.
Right.
But blue is either green or red. So then,
That's green or red. And it can't be red.
so that is green. Oh, purple. Must be this one. Purple's out. Yellow's out. Yellow and black.
Black?
All right.
Yellow is next. Purple or gray. Or
Yeah,
no,
neither
silver.
of which can go here. So then that
Well,
makes that a 5. Not 5. Gosh darn it. The stupid AC keeps popping on for like a second, and I know it's audible. silver and yellow can't be next to each other.
Right.
Correct.
Well, you just flip the silver and gray in the... Oh, well, I wonder where the boo...
No, this is too hard of a puzzle to have boo-boos. But we would take out gray, because gray is next to black, and silver. So then that would be gray and silver. But then, if that's gray, it's 3 or 7, which would make that yellow, and that yellow. Do we carry over another puzzle?
I'm fine for now. It's... We'll just put it on when you need to stop. If you want to keep going.
I mean, with not knowing like how far back the error is.
That's right.
Like, if we assume that this is correct, then this one here, if it's orange, it must be next to green. If it's blue, blue is next to green or red. There's a red over here. This must be green. So then what else do I have in this row? Well, I made the assumption that this was purple without paying attention to that. So that was probably a mistake. So what's left in this row? Green, black, orange, blue, red. 5 can't be next to gray. And I know that purple's neither of those. And then if we look at this top row, then I know I don't have purple, blue, orange, or green. Now, yellow is next to, well, it could be next to silver. Although this couldn't be a yellow-silver pair, this is yellow-silver.
Right.
Which means
So since...
this can't be yellow. So,
And neither can the other side of the Kropke dot. Because you can't have purple. Yellow's next to purple or silver.
so it can't be yellow. But
Right.
silver is also next to gray, which that could be gray.
Right. All right. Let's look at row 7. What's left in row 7?
Yellow, purple, black, blue, red. Purple can't be next. Oh, purple can't be next to yellow. So this is silver. So now yellow has to be one of these two. So this isn't yellow. It is a 5. Yellow is next to silver. So gray takes those two out. This is yellow, and that's not. Yellow, purple, purple, gray, so 8, 9, 9, 3, 7, correct. Now 3, 7, take out 4, 6, take out gray, plus 6, yellow is 2 or 8. Well, if this was not black, it would be red or gray. So that has to have, well, more simply, this 5 means, gosh darn it.
Ignore it.
Red, purple, 4, 6, not 4, 6, not red. This is a red 4, 6.
They're in box 7, the third cell of the box. Can't be green because
Green or silver. So that's gray.
Oh yeah.
Then that's 5.
Oh yeah.
And this is a 4, 6. And these two can't be gray. That's a 4, 6. Gray and silver are next are adjacent.
Oh, and one of the
Green.
Yeah. Silver. Orange can't be next to green because orange is adjacent.
That's silver. This is not blue.
Purple is now 1.
Not purple, not yellow. 1. Orange. 9. Not orange is orange. 9. So then green is 8. Yellow 2. Gray 3. Blue 7.
Gray is 6. It's 4 because 6 can't be next to 7. Box 2.
2 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because 7 and 8 have to be adjacent.
Black. 8 is green. 7 is blue. 7, 8. Yay!
Wow, that was hard. We definitely needed the colors though.
Yeah. I just wish I'd made the colors a bit more. I wish I had made it where 1 was red, 2 was blue, 3 was yellow, and 4 was green, 5 black, 6 gray, 7 silver, 8 orange, 9 purple. Because then, like, the I don't know. I just, it would have been easier for me. I just didn't do that at the beginning, and then it was too hard to change it. But anyway.
Yeah, but since they were pairs of colors.
Yeah. But I would remember that it goes red, blue, yellow, green a lot easier than whatever chain of colors I'd had before.
Oh, okay.
The Gray, silver, orange, purple would have been a little harder, but this would have been easier. 09. Column 9. Very nice. Difficulty. I mean, it's probably still very hard. Because, I mean, even if I set the colors the way I wish I had them. Oh, why is my phone being goofy? I'm not dropping any frames, so my phone's just being goofy. Even if I'd had the colors the way I wanted them to be, I don't think it would have been, I don't think it would have changed anything. Or, it would have been a little bit easier to keep track of who was next to what, but, yeah. I'd have at least remembered that gray and silver were next to each other, which, I mean, they were before, so that didn't change anything. And orange and purple, it would have just been, like, figuring out that purple was next to silver, I think, would be and I would have figured that out. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm actually surprised there aren't any comments down here. But yeah. Alright. With that, copy, paste. Alright. With that, it is nap time. So, transition over here. Anyone who watches this back, thank you so much. We did a couple of really hard puzzles today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. If you want more Sudoku content, that's Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Monster Hunter World is on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you are... Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Got rid of the AC noise, I hope. Lost my train of thought. If you want Final Fantasy VI, I will be streaming that eventually, sometime maybe this year. I'm going to try and do that tomorrow and on Friday, since I'll have time. Aside from that, it's nap time. So, again, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.